I've always thought that getting married young was important, at least in order to fully enjoy those moments with your partner, away from the prying eyes of others. And only after you've matured and gained some wisdom can you really take on the responsibilities of marriage. But now I realize that marrying early is key not just to enjoy those moments, but because it gives you a chance to fix your mistakes and find that one person who won't deceive or betray you. We tied the knot young, still in college. We built our life together, loved each other, and enjoyed our freedom. Kids weren't on our radar at first, but as time passed, we started to feel the ticking clock. After all, it's easier to handle parenthood at 30 than at 40. For the first few months, we didn't get too worked up. I didn't really think about it much, but I could tell that Layla was starting to get anxious. So, like everyone else in today's world, I went online. The advice was pretty basic, but it seemed worth a shot. I quit smoking, we ate healthier, added more exercise to our daily routine, and even bought some vitamins that the doctor supposedly recommended to Layla. But 6 months went by, and still no baby. How about we see a doctor together? I finally asked. I'm no fool. I know it could be either of us with fertility issues. Better to get checked than guess and waste time. Layla agreed without hesitation. The doctor ordered some tests, casually mentioning that many couples found that letting go of the worry and enjoying life often did the trick. Maybe take a trip to the sea, the doctor suggested. It helps sometimes. I could see how disappointed Layla was when she saw the long list of tests. It felt like she thought that chance had slipped away. I squeezed her hand to reassure her, and we left the office together. Listen, I said as we got in the car, let's take a trip. We'll go to the sea and clear our heads before we dive into all this testing. Layla agreed, though her enthusiasm was lacking. So we flew to Greece. It had been her dream to go there for a while, and we had a wonderful time. But once we were back, I dove straight into work and didn't think much about the doctor's advice. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I probably hoped that pregnancy would just happen on its own. But it didn't. And though I didn't want to admit it, I knew we had to face the issue. Layla, I said about a month and a half after our vacation, maybe it's time to go ahead and take those tests. No need, she smiled, her face lighting up. We're doing everything right. At first, I couldn't believe it, but then she showed me the ultrasound results. The height knot in my chest finally loosened. The pregnancy was smooth sailing, just like my own birth, which, by the way, I skipped. Some things are better left unseen by men. From the moment I held our daughter, I was in love. I adored her from the first breath, the first moment. 2 years of joyful parenting flew by without me even noticing. I could feel that my fatherly instincts weren't quite exhausted yet, and hey, who doesn't dream of having a son? Do you want more kids? I asked one day. Her answer was typical, but I wasn't ready to give up. I kept pushing. Layla got frustrated at first, but then gave in, reminding me that we'd faced challenges before. And yet, here we were, with a little one running around the house. So we might as well give it another try. A year passed, and I started wondering if there was something else at play. Layla, however, didn't see any problem. So I decided to go for a checkup on my own. I didn't want to accept it, but the results were clear. There was no way around it. It was fruitless. I even went for a second opinion at another clinic. But once again, the result didn't change. It was almost impossible to believe. After all, I had an alibi. The doctors just shrugged, offering sympathetic glances. It happens, the last one said. You should talk to your wife. The disbelief quickly turned to anger. I want a DNA test. Right now, I told her, watching as her face drained of color. Why? What's the point? She asked, her voice faltering. I just want to make sure that Ellie is really my daughter, I said. Why don't you trust me? How could you even think that? Layla immediately launched into accusations, her tears welling up. How could you even suggest something like this? I don't know. Maybe it's because I found out I'm infertile, I said, my voice cutting through the silence. Her tears stopped instantly. The atmosphere shifted. She began talking about me having to take the test again. But I calmly showed her identical results from 3 different clinics. I was waiting for an explanation, but hearing her out was like listening to an endless stream of insults. She questioned my ability to have children, saying that she'd been pregnant once before, when she was young, but had to terminate the pregnancy. She went on, revealing that she'd once been with someone else, someone she had secretly met. This person had gotten her pregnant and promised that if she left me, he would be there for her. But in the end, he disappeared abroad before she could make any decisions. Perhaps it was his revenge for the way she'd left him years ago. I sat there, dumbfounded, not knowing what to do. And here was my beloved child, sitting in the other room, and yet she wasn't mine. It was a decision that tore me apart, but I knew it had to be made. Ellie was still so young, and she wouldn't remember me, so her psyche wouldn't be scarred. I cut them out of my life as best as I could, did the DNA test, and then proved in court that I wasn't the father. I was cursed, vilified, called every name in the book. But in the end, Layla went back to her parents, and I never heard from them again. Cheating Secrets podcast, like me.